It's really cool to like pull up to a venue that I'm playing and I see like a line of kids that just look so sick. They all look like so cool. And like they're so open-minded about stuff. And it's weird that I'm like, oh, I know, that's my crew. That's them.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
5 things Billie Eilish secretly loves. Billie Eilish burst onto the music scene in 2017 with her debut single, Ocean Eyes, and followed that up with a record-breaking EP as well as a full-length studio album, which just dropped earlier this year, and has launched her world tour and brought her much critical acclaim. She's making a lot of headlines and seems to be taking life in the spotlight very well. She certainly has come a long way in her short time as a professional entertainer, but for the 17-year-old star who puts off an I don't care attitude, she fills her life with many interesting passions. Some are more surprising than others and seem to fit her persona rather well. From fangirling over other young celebrities to apparently being a superfan of one of the most beloved TV shows from the last 15 years. Her interests definitely run deep, and for someone who is constantly on the move, Billie finds a lot of time to pursue the things she's most interested in. Now, it's time to take a look at the top 5 most interesting things that Billie Eilish has a love affair for. Number 5. Dancing. It may come as a surprise to people that don't closely follow Eilish, but her interest in dance has been a long one. Billie Eilish was raised in an entertainer household where her mother, father, and older brother all had something to do with acting or musicianship. It seems the creativity rubbed off on Billie, and from a very early age, she was interested in both acting and dancing. However, after an audition that she says didn't go as well as she'd hoped, Eilish focused her energy solely on dance. She has been a member of a Los Angeles dance studio since she was 8 years old, and there are quite a few videos all over YouTube from her younger days dancing in the studio. She even sent the demo for Ocean Eyes, which became her first smash hit, to a dance instructor before she released it to get help choreographing a dance to the song. However, Billie suffered an injury at one point that hurt her so bad she couldn't dance for almost a year. We don't blame her for taking some time off, as apparently she dislocated her leg from her hip and needed to mend before filming the music video. But she healed quickly, and the footage of the dance was released as an alternate video to the single. Right before it dropped, Eilish seemed very excited to share her passion for dance, saying, "I ended up being injured and wasn't able to dance for a long time. So after all that has happened with our music this year, it's especially exciting to do this video." It seems her interest in dance is going nowhere. Part of her amazing stage presence is her ability to dance around for hours on end, and it's a large part of what gets her audiences so hyped to see her perform live. Number 4. Fashion. Billie has quite an elaborate fashion sense that goes against the style most celebrities, especially musicians, wear. Billie is known for her baggy, oversized clothes, and they play well with the persona she's created for herself. It also seems that Eilish is smarter than you might think with the way she dresses. She's described her disdain for the form-fitting, snug, and revealing clothing that most of her fellow musicians and pop stars wear all the time. She hides her body from the paparazzi, which in turn actually gives them less to talk about with her. This way she doesn't have to deal with the harsh and unnecessary things the media might say about her physical looks, which, in all honesty, is a great move. The media definitely has a track record of putting down celebrities for the way they dress and the way they look. For someone like Eilish, who just wants to express herself through her creativity, why should looks have anything to do with it? On the contrary, though, Eilish has also talked about how much she enjoys dressing outside of her element, and she's made her own style to match. She participated in a Calvin Klein campaign earlier this year that was focused around artists speaking their truths and opening up about their personal lives. Billie explained how much she enjoys being out of her element, and that if she walks into a room, she knows she looks very different than most of the people in it, but she enjoys that feeling and likes the idea of people looking at her because she's different. So, the baggy clothes may seem weird at first, but her style is centered around being noticed while also being hidden.
I never want the world to know everything about me. I mean, that's why I wear big baggy clothes. Nobody can have an opinion because they haven't seen what's underneath, you know? Nobody can be like, oh, she's slim thick. She's not slim thick. She's she got a flat ass. She's got a fat ass. No one can say any of that because they don't know. I speak my truth in my Calvins.
Number 3. Family. Unlike many 17-year-olds out there, Billie Eilish actually has a great relationship with her family. She attributes a lot of her success and smarts to her parents and older brother. Billie was homeschooled by her parents most of her life, which only strengthened the bond they have together. She's talked about her childhood and remembers how busy the family was all the time. If they weren't going shopping for groceries or clothes, they were driving all over Los Angeles to attend auditions or rehearsals. Eilish tries to spend as much time as she possibly can with her family outside of touring, recording, and rehearsing for her shows. She also has an undeniable love for her brother, Phineas O'Connell. Phineas is 5 years older than Billie, but they've had a strong bond since both were little. Phineas was writing and producing songs long before Billie was interested in pursuing music, but it's because of her older brother that she even has a career. Her first single, Ocean Eyes, was actually written by Phineas and was supposed to be a new song for his own band. But after finishing the lyrics, Phineas was interested to hear what his sister sounded like singing them. He recorded her vocals, and the siblings loved it so much they decided to put it on SoundCloud. The rest is now history. The brother and sister are certainly a dynamic duo and still work together to produce all of Billie's music. Phineas has appeared in a few of her music videos, and they interviewed together in Paris for Beats One Radio. Billie has even talked about the recording process between them. She said that at first, the label wanted them to go into the studio to record her full-length album, but ultimately, it felt more comfortable at home. She says working together at home made it much easier for the creativity to flow. Being able to work whenever inspiration strikes, whether during the day or the middle of the night, made the songs feel much more complete and real. I can only imagine how amazing it must be to have that kind of professional relationship with your own brother. Number 2, the Biebs. This one may come as a shock to you. Billie Eilish has had a long-time crush on, wait for it, Justin Bieber. It might not be that big of news, seeing as almost every teenage girl in America was in love with the guy during the rise to fame. But Billie is definitely a fangirl. She said that she was a fan of his since one of his earliest songs, Baby. Eilish's dark and grim style may not seem to go hand in hand with Bieber's bubbly appearance, but she has even been quoted as saying that he was one of her earliest musical inspirations. Well, Billie's dream came true this year at Coachella, where she finally got to meet Bieber for the first time. She looks back on the moment and wonders how she just didn't burst into tears when she met him. But the footage looks like it was a great time for both of the stars. They must have kept in touch after their first meeting because, only months later, in June of this year, Billie dropped a remix of her hit song Bad Guy that featured the Biebs himself. If they keep this up, we should expect to see more music from the duo in the future. And let's just hope Billie doesn't end up stealing Justin from his current wife, Haley. Number 1, The Office. This is my absolute favorite thing that Billie Eilish secretly loves. There's no question that The Office was one of the greatest shows ever to be on TV, and it seems Eilish certainly agrees. The show ran for 8 years and still has probably the most dedicated fan base of any show in TV history. The song, My Strange Addiction, which featured on Billie's debut album earlier this year, sampled a few sound bites, which should be pretty familiar to any fan of the show. The song opens with the lines, "There's a whole crowd of people out there that need to learn how to do the scarn." The line is from one of the most beloved episodes of the series, Threat Level Midnight. Since the song came out, Eilish has been asked about her love for The Office, to which she replied that she's seen the whole series over a dozen times, and it's her all-time favorite show to watch.
I heard you were an Office fan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah? A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
You've seen the show once or twice?
12 times now.
12 times?
Yes.
When the album was released and the tracks started making their rounds, Rainn Wilson, who played Dwight Schrute in the show, and Greg Daniels, who co-created it, caught wind of the hilarious intro and decided to put Billie in the hot seat. Greg sent Rainn over to Billie's house with a bunch of quiz cards. After inviting him in, Billie was given a pop quiz to prove how big of a fan she was. As expected, she completely aced the quiz and proved herself to be a super fan of the series.
I hear you're a pretty big Office fan.
Yes.
Bring it. Ow, Jesus. I'm going to ask you some questions, some trivia questions, and then some quotes, and we'll see how well you do. Here we go.
It's crazy to think that between all of the touring and interviewing and rehearsing, Eilish still has time to watch loads of her favorite shows. Let's hope Billie finds more ways to sneak her own pop culture icons into the music she makes. So, as you can see, Billie Eilish has many hidden talents and interests. She's a multifaceted artist who has a lot going for her and is in a situation where the world is currently her oyster. Sometimes it's easy to just look at someone, especially a celebrity, and think you know exactly what they're all about. But there are a few out there that will surprise you. Most creative people aren't only interested in one form of creativity. It's something that permeates into all aspects of your life. For Billie, it includes music, photography, dance, and fashion. She's had long-standing crushes, cares deeply about her family, and takes a stand for things that she believes in, like being vegan. At the end of the day, she's a person just like any one of us, and it really seems she just wants to be treated that way. We think anyone can relate to having many interests and passions, but so far, Billie has been able to succeed at all of them. Her quirkiness and personality envelop her deeper feelings about all of the things that make her who she is. Sure, she's had her own controversy and hardships, but she's taking it one step at a time. And for someone who's only 17 years old, she's doing a pretty damn good job.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.